Hey friends, welcome back to the Bald Booktuber. My name is Scott. Today we are going to go over my August reading plans. So we're going to call it a TBR, to be read, but I have not been great about following my plans these last few months. So I follow them at about a 70 to 80% clip. So I'm still making plans. We'll see if it works out. But yeah, the best laid plans of mice and men, right? Anywho, let's get into it. So I'm going to start the month with a indie release. This author reached out to me directly. This is a book that Madison has recently reviewed on her channel. I'll have that review listed in the links. I will also have the review from Andrew over at Andrew's Wizzly Reads for the same book. Everybody that's reading it really enjoys it. The author actually reached out to me directly and gave me a free review copy via audio, which I'm super appreciative of. So looking forward to it. The name of the book is The Legend of Blackjack. The author is A.R. Witham. It is a standalone, so there's no specific series it's attached to. It appears to be kind of an action-adventure fantasy story. Even though I did watch some of these other reviews and stuff, I tried to kind of not learn too much about what it's about. It appears to be a coming-of-age story. Even though it's called Blackjack, it's not like a pirate story. It looks like it's more kind of in the vein of Treasure Island or something like that. Which I've never read, so we'll see how it goes. The audiobook is actually narrated by the author, and I have listened to some of it so far, and seems to be good narration, so I'm looking forward to this. It looks like it should be a pretty quick read. It's 447 pages, so that's how I'm going to start the month. I'll probably actually start that the last day of July as I'm filming this. Today's July 31st, so looking forward to that one. That'll be the first thing I read. And then we get into a couple of rereads, and I don't know specifically when I'm reading these, kind of back to back probably, but two of my favorite series by two of my favorite authors. Yeah, I'll just show you. So this is The Forgetting Moon by Brian Lee Durfee. I read this and The Blackest Heart in 2020. I think it was 2020. And really love Brian's writing. He's got a wonderful YouTube page that is all book reviews, along with some music reviews and some other zaniness. His persona on that YouTube channel is nothing whatsoever like his writing, which is very interesting. He is a fantastic writer, very good prose, very good storytelling and world building. I love the series, and we are getting The Lonesome Crown, which is book 3 and the final book in the trilogy, in November. So I'm looking forward to that release quite a bit. So we'll start with The Forgetting Moon this month. I'm doing along with a read-along that Brent has put together on Mike's channel, but I don't know if I'll follow the read-along schedule exactly. Again, I don't know when they're starting, but I will probably read it right after The Legend of Blackjack. After that, it's time to get back into Sun Eater. It's never a bad time to read Sun Eater, so I will be rereading Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocchio. If you have watched the channel at all, you know that this is one of my very favorite series. I love Sun Eater. I love Rocchio's writing. We got Kingdoms of Death earlier this year, and I didn't do a reread to lead up to that, and I should have. Instead, I'll be rereading these leading up to book 5, which is Ashes of Man, in early December. All right, on the 19th, this will be the last Dark Tower book for a while. I know I wrapped up the series proper already with the 7 books, but there was a novella released after that called Wind Through the Keyhole, a novella that's 320 pages. What is a typical book for many authors was just called novella by King, but that's fine. My understanding is this takes place timeline-wise sort of between books 4 and 5, so that's where a lot of people read it. I chose to read it in publication order because, publication order always. There are a few folks that have never read it that will be reading along with us, so I'm excited about that. So I'll start that on the 19th, and it should be pretty quick. King himself narrates it, so that should be interesting. I have never listened to his narration on anything outside of On Writing, which I've listened to a couple of times. He doesn't really have a voice made for narration, but that's okay. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to it, and see if it fills in any of the extra blanks, of which there are several. And questions that I have about Dark Tower as a series, which I do love, but there's always an additional mystery to be solved, so interested to see what that'll be like. After that, I will be reading The Providence Writer. This is book 4 of the excellent Matthew Corbett series by Robert McCammon. This is one of the shorter entries so far, it's 394 pages, so I should breeze through this. As with the other entries so far, I have absolutely no idea what the book is about. I go to great lengths to make sure I don't learn what it's about, because I, just like going in knowing nothing except that my boy Matthew Corbett is in it and the main character, and beyond that, I don't want to know. So, if you've seen my wrap-ups, you know that the last couple of months, Corbett books have been my books of the month. We'll see if that trend continues or not. McCammon just continues to just pump out 5 Stanley Knott reads. Everything I've read from him has been a masterpiece. So one of my absolute favorite writers, and new to me as of December of last year. So loving everything he does. And I don't know if it was his call or the publishers or whoever to get Eduardo Ballerini as the narrator, but that dude is amazing. So highly, highly encourage you to pick up this series if you enjoy any of 17th, 18th century kind of pre-colonial, pre-Revolutionary War and kind of colonial America. If you enjoy that time period, definitely do it. If you enjoy any kind of like Sherlock Holmes or Agatha Christie or any of that kind of stuff in terms of mysteries, definitely do it. But yeah, it's tremendous. Give it a shot. And then the last book I'll read, I'm going to try and read it starting on release day, but we'll see how everything kind of shakes itself out. There's a brand new release, and it's a brand new author, and this is called The First Binding. It's the first book in the Tales of Tremaine, I think, series, and the author is R.R. Verdi. He is a massive Patrick Rothfuss fan, and there's a lot of parallels between this and Name of the Wind, which, of course, is one of my favorite books of all time. It's in the Kingkiller Chronicles, which, again, definitely is on my favorite fantasy series of all time list, which I will have linked. So, kind of the buzz around this is that if you love Name of the Wind, you're definitely going to love this. We'll see. It releases on the 16th, so if at all possible, I will begin reading that. I don't know if I'll be reading it alone or in conjunction with some of these other things I have going on, but yeah, I'm excited to get to it. I kind of follow him on Twitter, and he seems like a pretty interesting fellow. So we'll see. I'm excited to try this out and see how it goes. We'll go from there. So assuming I get everything done, averages out to about 115 pages per day of reading, which I should be able to do without too many problems if I can minimize distractions. Also in August, House of the Dragon premieres, the first episode of House of the Dragon. So I will be doing post-show coverage over on Mike's channel with Mike and with my friend Madison over Madison Goodyear, who I mentioned earlier. The three of us will be kind of breaking down each episode. We have done some kind of initial videos already over Mike's channel. I'll have those linked so that you can check those out if you want to kind of see about our fandom with Song of Ice and Fire, how we felt about the show Game of Thrones a little bit, you know, what we want to see, what we expect to see with the new adaptation, that kind of thing. So I hope you'll check those out. Also in August, Nebraska football kicks back off. It's been a rough few years. We'll see how that goes, but if they're terrible right out of the gate, that will at least save me some time and give me more reading time. So the Cubs have already killed my life baseball-wise. I really need Nebraska to be good football-wise this year to have a chance at some good sports memories for the year of 2022. But if I don't, like I said, that's just more reading time, so no problem. But other than that, I hope that you all have excellent plans for the month of August. Please let me know what you're planning to read. Let me know what you're excited to get to. Any new releases, anything that is kind of under the radar or underappreciated that you want to tell people about, just let me know in the comments. And until then, as we always say, publication order always, my friend.